Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a minute since I have posted. It's been a long time since I've been on YouTube. It feels a little weird, honestly, to be sitting down filming a video. There's just something so unnatural about it. So forgive me if I'm a little rusty. But yeah, I'm back and I want to be back. So today's video, I really just want to kind of get back on camera, chat about some things, some industry trends, some concepts that I've really been thinking a lot with the brands that I work with, and just give you kind of an overall life update on me. This is going to be nothing deep. There's no lesson plan. There's no, full-on tutorial and anything like that. But if you're new here, I am Kenna. I'm a cosmetic chemist and I'm a beauty brand strategist. And obviously I make YouTube videos, but I haven't in a long time. So if you are interested in starting a beauty brand, you're absolutely in the right place. I have lots of plans for this channel at the end of this year and going into next. It might start with the letter P, and it's gonna be really fun, guys. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be back in this format. This year has just been a whirlwind for me. I mean, as far as the clients that I have and the work that I've done and, kind of the different shifts in where I thought I was going to be living and all of these different things. It's been a little bit chaotic, but, this is kind of how I got my start interacting with a lot of you guys. And I know that you find the YouTube videos extremely helpful. So we're going to get back into it. I'm extremely sick right now, so you're going to have to forgive my very nasally voice. And if there's a few sniffles here and there, that's just how it's going to be. Yeah, but we're cozy. Grab a drink. I've got a fire going on behind me. And so we're just going to keep this really fun and light. And yeah. Okay, I thought we'd just start off by kind of rapid firing through some industry trends that have really popped off this year. I think some of the biggest ones that I've seen are exosomes, it's super interesting because there's so much potential with them. A few years ago, really the only people that were using them were dermatologists or estheticians in clinic that got them frozen, -20, extremely frozen, and would thaw them and use them right away because they're so incredibly unstable. And that would be exosomes from sheep, from cows, from humans, and they're generally used kind of post-procedure for laser, for healing, for microneedling, in that kind of situation, and have shown really, really amazing results and benefits for anti-aging, for collagen building, for elastin building. And it's quite interesting. Now what we're seeing a lot though is exosomes being promoted in off-the-shelf products, and a lot of them are plant exosomes, and they really don't function the same way that those human or animal-derived exosomes do in our skin, but they have some very interesting. There is a fly that is going to just be featured in this video. So should we name him? I don't know. Okay, so what I was saying, the plant exosomes show really good potential for anti-aging, for moisture, for brightening, but it's really based on in vivo and some really small kind of human clinical trials that these ingredient companies are doing. So while I think there's a massive potential in the exosome space, I don't think that it's been quite sorted out what that long-term use case is. I think that the way it's being used now in clinic totally makes sense, but when it comes to consumer products, a lot of it is in there for marketing, which is not my favorite approach. Now, exosomes can be used kind of as delivery systems for other active ingredients, and that's a really interesting side of the biotech that I'm interested in as well. There's an amazing biotech company called Core Biogenesis where they actually grow growth factors, human epidermal growth factors within camellia plants, and that's real biotechnology. They've put in the genes for these plants to actually grow epidermal growth factors within these oleosomes, and they have a couple different products out right now. This is an ingredient company, but I've loved formulating with these products, with these ingredients over the last year. I think that the results are incredible. The clinical studies behind them are amazing, and I've seen it firsthand that that's really cool. There's also another company called Indermal that does deep delivery systems and also targeted delivery systems for active ingredients like kojic acid or mandelic acid or basically anything. And that's really cool because they have figured out how to create these membranes around actives that traditionally just don't really get into the skin very well. So I think the future definitely is biotech. I think that the whole exosome thing has a lot of potential, but it's a little bit confusing for consumers, I think, and how they're actually being used, because exosomes in your off-the-shelf products are probably not operating in the same way as if you're getting exosome treatment at like your derm office or your esthetician clinic or whatever, right? So I think that's a really good trend. I think biotech in general is like, I've been saying this for years and years, like it's the future of skincare raw materials. It's the future of ingredients as far as sustainability, like that's where it's at. So I love watching this space and seeing how ingredient companies and biotech companies are really, evolving, I guess, evolving. So that's one. I'm sure that you guys have heard the term exosome in the past year, like, and if you haven't, then are you really into skincare? Next trend that we have to talk about is tallow. Okay, tallow is all over the place, but what's so interesting to me is I was at Expo West like 10 years ago, and there was, a booth of all this tallow-based skincare. And at the time, everything was going in such an opposite direction. Like everything had to be vegan. Oh my gosh, that was the time of just pure vegan skincare, right? And I was like, oh, this tallow stuff, like, it's been used in skincare forever. Like it's a very traditional recipe for soaps, for lotions, all these things. But it really made a comeback. And I feel like due in part to TikTok, social media trends, the whole trad wife thing, like, it's just become cool to be into tallow and homesteading and all of that. I moved to a farm, but I'm definitely not following under the trad wife vibes at all. But with tallow-based skincare, it is very interesting because for such a long time, there was such a drive for all plant-based products, completely vegan, and now we're seeing these tallow-based formulations with honey, with beeswax, with obviously the tallow. Yeah, it's like the complete polar opposite, right? It's like the carnivore diet versus the vegan. Like carnivore diet has trended now as well. And so we're seeing a lot of these relationships between kind of food trends, supplement industry trends, as well as the skincare trends. Now, I am not a tallow hater. I know a lot of cosmetic chemists are like, oh, it's, just like a saturated fatty acid. Yeah, it's an emollient, so you can make products with it that are nourishing, that are moisturizing. It's definitely not good for acne-prone skin, so I don't know who on TikTok decided to say that it was, but it's probably not, Think of it similar to like a shea butter, right? It is a little bit more occlusive than just like your jojoba oil. But if you have extremely dry skin, it can definitely help you out. The whole claim that it has like a million vitamins in it. And most brands now are using like deodorized, refined, bleached tallow, which absolutely just is, like triglyceride content and saturated fatty acids. So if you like tallow, I'm not judging you. I actually work with a lot of tallow brands, and the products that we've done are really, really nice. But it's not like the be-all, end-all magic cure, because really in skincare, there isn't one. Everyone's skin needs are different. Everyone can tolerate different things. Tallow can be formulated into quite nice products, in my opinion. I think that it is probably one of the most unregulated booms of skincare that we've seen, though. Like people just putting together tallow products that have no idea for the understanding of product registration, MOCRA, Health Canada, labeling compliance, like the amount of labels that I've seen that just are not done right and obviously are not following regulations, are being made in kitchens. That's probably where I see the biggest issue with the whole tallow industry. It's not the tallow itself. And then you have to look at, is it really a sustainable product? But I have no data. I have no stats on that. I would have to do a lot of research that I don't have time to do. Is it any different than sourcing rose essential oil, as far as environmental impact, or licorice root extract? I don't know. But is it terrible for you? No. Is it the best thing in the world? No. I'm pretty neutral. I'm pretty, gray area when it comes to things like this. I don't really take a hard position on it because I don't think that there's like anything in life is black and white, but that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any tallow-based skincare and what your thoughts are. Let's see what other trends that are coming on. I definitely feel like the salmon PDRN trend is not over. I think that we're going to see that a lot more in North America. I did that video with Kahi, which was like the original kind of, what do they call it? The miracle stick, miracle bomb from Korea. And that was how many years ago? 3 years ago or something. And that was kind of like the big one for salmon PDRN. I wrote an article in a magazine about it, or was interviewed for an article in a magazine about it. But now I do think that it's something that I'm asked a lot to formulate with, and people are really interested in because, there's these things with keywords and Amazon search and everything like that. So I do think that in 2026, we will actually see a lot more brands bring on salmon PDRN. I think Medicube really has taken over the space as being like the North American or westernized version of K-beauty, and they've done a lot of salmon PDRN, and so other brands are now like following suit, essentially. The last trend that I think I'll talk about is the rise in men's skincare. I can't tell you how many people have approached me in the last year to develop men's products. And what's interesting is they all really have a different angle because it's such an underserved market when it's like been done well. You either have like the hyper kind of immature axe vibe to things, or you have the lumberjack vibe, and there's not a lot in the middle. So within that, there's a lot of target demographics that can be targeted. And so most of the people that do come to me for men's products are kind of formulating for their own self and their own stage of life, which I find really incredible. Big focus on just like looking good and feeling good in your skin and having that confidence and having products that speak to you and the lifestyle that you're, kind of aiming and attaining for. So that's been a really interesting one because I think men really do want products that are catered to them. And a lot of men probably just get into skincare mostly because their girlfriend or their wife is like, use this. I mean, I know that's true of my husband. Like, he just uses whatever I tell him to. But if there was products that were designed specifically for him, I think that would feel more personal, right? I don't know. And there's no reason why, like, skincare is not gendered. But there are certain things that are different, as far as sometimes lifestyle and needs and wants and overall look. Like, I think as females, we want to be super hyper glowy, and that's really an important aspect of our skincare because we also, in general, I'm totally generalizing, don't get me in trouble, but like wear makeup. And so whether you're more oily or more dry, that's going to kind of determine what kind of skincare products you want to layer underneath, versus men are looking to just like have the skincare really set their skin in the way that they want to look. And it usually tends to be less dewy because I think guys can sometimes think that dewy looks greasy or shiny or sweaty, versus us girls, like, we just want to glow, right? Okay, so I think that's it for trends, but I do want to do a deeper dive on trends. That's more just like kind of ingredient focused trends and like types of product trends. Now I want to talk a little bit about kind of the work that I've been doing with founders over the last year and how I feel like I've really found a sweet spot in the way that I'm approaching the education with founders about all things when it comes to business. So I've done a few different programs over my time consulting, but I've always like just really focused on new product development, custom formulation, and that aspect. And then through my work with founders, I've also kind of taught them the other stuff. But in July, we launched a platform called Beauty Founders Club, where it's like a monthly seminar. So I give a seminar, it's like an hour long usually. And then there's weekly assignments with a theme for each month, and then a live Q&A at the very end of the month. Right now, there's just about like 30 members. Really, we're in beta right now because we are just trying to get feedback and perfect the platform and everything like that. But if you do want to join Beauty Founders Club, you're welcome to. I'll put the link down below. What I've really found is that it's a good way for people to learn. It's kind of go at your own pace. There's a ton of resources there. There's like the startup checklist of just like all the things that like admin wise you have to do to start a business in the first place. We've done a month on branding, a month on kind of sales and marketing, UGC content, EGC, like employee generated content. We've done smart and safe product development, packaging, which, all of these could be a 6-month course in themselves, but we're just kind of doing these like overview masterclasses. And then the content just stays there. And I feel like it's been a really good way to see and feel where founders are struggling. And what I've noticed is the founders that really do care about, well, I think all founders do care about the success, but like there's personality differences that I think determine whether you're successful or not. And like putting in the effort to learn everything about your business. Because when I got into this, like I started everything from the ground up. Like I was doing my own manufacturing. So I was like sweeping the floors, and I was also running meta ads, and I was doing radio interviews, and I was doing blah, 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 and I formulated the products and manufactured them. So I've seen everything from end to end, and that's always my approach to it. But I think a lot of people, when they get into this industry, are just really excited about like, oh, I have this idea and I love the creative side, but if you want to run a successful business, like you need to know how to do a cash flow projections for 3 years. You need to know how to write a business plan. You need to know your cost of customer acquisition. You need to know your MER. You need to know your ROI, like all these things, right? And it's super overwhelming. So that being said, I don't know where I was going with that. But I mean, I've had a lot of fun building this over the last year. Yeah, so it's a platform that just allows you to learn at your own pace and always looking for feedback on making it better, making it more useful for the members that are in there. And the other thing is, like, when you're starting a beauty brand, it's so isolating because nobody really understands what it is, and you most likely don't have any friends or family that have done it before. So it is a place where you can actually connect with other founders and just enjoy the, the struggles, the hurdles, really encouraging people to like post the weekly assignments and get feedback and all of that, because I think it's a really important exercise to put yourself out there, just like show up for your business and for yourself. So that's been cool. Something that I think is definitely on my mind is like, what is making brands investable now? Like 15 years ago, you could get pre-seed funding from angel investors, from even VCs on, just a concept and like a really good game plan. Now it's much, much harder to get any kind of investment in funding. So what would be enticing? I'm always trying to think about this for my clients, for myself, like what would be a good investment when it comes to a brand? And I definitely think that we're seeing a shift to two specific things. So one, expert-led brands. Like we want to have makeup brands run by makeup artists. We want to have hair care brands run by hairstylists. We want to have skincare brands run by derms or estheticians. Like that is now kind of the standard, and especially ones that have built followings online. So audience built in, right? The audience has the trust, the buying power, and they take these people's advice and it's worked. Like if someone has given you that validation that you struggled with something, they posted a video, you tried it, and it fixed your problem and you helped, you automatically have built-in trust with them now. And I think that a lot of expert-led brands have been doing that forever with their content online. And then when they launch products, it's just like, boom, they really have hit the mark because their trust, like the trust level is through the roof, right? I think it's really tough when you're a brand that doesn't have that expert-led built-in or the audience built-in. Then you really have to think about building trust through your PDPs, like through your product pages, through your content, your online content, and having some type of authority figure built in as well. Like whether that is just an ambassador, whether that is a professional that you hire in, like it's just kind of needed now. So I think that's a big trend that we're going to see in 2026 is brands launching that are expert focused, that have built-in audiences. I mean, it has been the trend for the last couple of years, but I think we're actually going to start to see more and more of them, and less like just pure celebrity brands, but celebrity with that kind of content creator approach to it, right? That is not out of touch, that does post on TikTok or Instagram and has that audience like really, really engaged. So that's been really interesting, is finding and seeing that with clients, seeing that with just other brands launching, and asking myself like what would it take for me to invest in something. I did actually launch a brand a week ago. Let me show you. I haven't really promoted it yet just because I just moved, but this is Twofold. This is really cool. Callie is my co-founder. She actually was part of the beauty incubator program that I ran, I believe, in 2023. She just had this really cool concept of kind of bridging the gap between like the supplements and skincare, because she personally was, using 20 things for skincare and 20 things for wellness products, tinctures and powders and all of these different things. And she wanted to kind of blend them into one. So Twofold, our first launch, is like a strawberry matcha. It comes with 30 of these sachets. This is like a ready-to-drink matcha, strawberry matcha powder. You can have it hot or cold. It's super yummy, like, to be honest, super yummy. And then we did a serum. This is just the box because my serum is upstairs in my bathroom. But what's interesting about this brand is like they have the same ingredients, exact same ingredients in both products. So you've got hyaluronic acid, chlorella, the matcha, L-theanine, aloe, sage, strawberry, baobab, cucumber. Yeah, and I love it. For my skin, helps with redness, texture, hydration. It's non-sticky. A lot of positive feedback from men actually as well on that one, because it's just a very neutral type of serum and it doesn't feel like anything after. You know, you just have that kind of like depuffed, tightened, lifted look, reducing redness and everything. So that's been super fun. So if you want to watch that space or grab yourself a set, would love to hear your feedback on it, because yeah, it's been a while since I've had my own product. So I'm very excited about that. And let me see, I'm so just rambling right now. This is fun though, guys. Super, super fun. What else? I guess I can just say it. Like, we're launching a podcast. Okay, we're gonna do a podcast for Beauty Founders Club. I don't know what the name of the podcast is going to be yet. Lacey, my chief of staff, and I are working on that. We're trying to see. So if you have ideas for names, so there's going to be kind of like two segments to it, right? One is the interview with brands, interviewing brands, talking about their process, their hardships, their wins, kind of how they went about product development, manufacturing, branding, like just those real behind the scenes moments, because there's so much, there's so many curtains up in this industry. And so we just want to peel that back a little bit and have real, raw conversations with founders, which is going to be super fun. And then I'm going to do more of these just like coffee chats with Kenna. I don't know what we're going to call it, but it's going to be something like that, where I just kind of like weekly can update you on that. And I'm saying all of this out loud so that we're doing it. Okay, so December is when I think we're going to start recording. Want to record the whole season and then start probably publishing in 2026. But anyways, yeah, we're doing a podcast. I think I'm going to just post it on this channel, and then obviously you can listen to it somewhere else. I don't know, maybe that's it. I really want to get into some deep dive lesson plans. So if you are thinking about starting a beauty brand, or you are starting one, or you're just here for more of like the skincare science, let me know what topic you do want me to cover and we can get into it. I have like 5 whiteboards that I want to stand up and whiteboard with you guys because it's super fun. But yeah, we can put together kind of some lesson plans on different topics. So it can be really anything. You know, I think my education and my expertise falls under so many different categories, from branding, from product design, storytelling, R&D, formulation, supply chain, manufacturing, go-to-market strategy, meta ads, TikTok affiliate marketing, like it's a lot of stuff. So I'm your resource. I'm here. I'm back. I promise I'm not going to disappear again, you guys. We had planned to move a million places this year. First it was Spain, then it was LA, then we canceled everything. We moved to a farmhouse just in Canada, and I'm so happy we did. So yeah, maybe next time I'll show you guys around the lab that it's built. It was already built. It's like a winterized kind of workshop that I've just put in flooring and tables and all of that good stuff. But we're going to build it out a little bit further. Other things, I don't know. My daughter just lost her first tooth, which is crazy. Like, she's 5, but it seems really early to lose a tooth. So that was fun. The tooth fairy came. I think that's it. But I missed you guys. Please comment something down below. I will reply to every single one of you. So let's just chit chat. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm on both of those, but I really miss the YouTube fam. And I know that's how a lot of you get a lot more value, because long form is like totally where it's at for education and learnings and stuff. So I'm the same way. Like, I purely watch YouTube videos if I want to learn about something. So we're back, baby. We're back. And thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.